that's the thing. I think that ultimately, I think there are issues with this film. I think ultimately the biggest one is that John Dillinger is just not a Michael Mann guy. Like, at the end of the day, he is, like, the way he's used in the script and the person himself are both like dramatically at odds with the person that Michael Mann understands and likes to portray on screen.
Yeah, that's something we seem to like lead off with in every movie now is just talking about the Michael Mann protagonist and how like this protagonist relates to that and how he fits, either perfectly into it or it clashes with that. And you know, at some levels, Dillinger is a professional criminal, and that seems to be like right in Mann's wheelhouse. But actually, I think like the ways that Dillinger clashes with this type might make him like he's closer in some ways, but the clashes have the most deleterious effect on the movie overall. Because like he has the flash that's not like Muhammad Ali's. And there's actually a behind the scenes feature I saw where Mann draws that comparison directly, where he talks about Melvin Purvis as a person and being this very educated, diligent professional that was just totally unprepared to get in the ring with Muhammad Ali when it came to chasing down Dillinger.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I
He
think with
does
Ali,
pretty
like,
well, actually. I think he does quite well.
yeah, I mean,
He succeeds.
well, I don't know. I guess he does, but also the cops and feds of this period really got their asses handed to them by these guys in real life. It's pretty shocking to read just like the Wikipedia summaries of how many dozens of cops they killed.
Fair enough. I mean, it's this is sort of the this era of crime fighting is almost a genre unto itself.
Mm.
Um, I guess you don't see too many 1930s gangster stories anymore, but it happened all the time back in the day, and there's obvious attempts to redo it that have had lasting significance. The Untouchables being the one that springs right to mind, which is almost kind of, I think, the tone that a story like this requires a little more bullshit.
A little more
The
Hollywood.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
And look, I want to talk to you guys about the 1930s more
uh-huh.
later on. Okay, that's one of the things though is again, kind of like I said that I feel Michael Mann wanting this to be about these incredibly skilled criminal operators, or like new, skilled police officers because that's what he's into, professionals who are very good at their jobs. Uh, except,
But these guys weren't.
yeah, none of these guys were. Like, their methods are not like there's one scene at the beginning, right after the prison break, right, where they're like hold up and Dillinger is meeting with like an armorer and talking about like his Tommy gun, like it's pulling up into the right. And we got okay, I'm gonna
Mhm.
take out this spring and do this, and then this guy's brought cars for them to evaluate for like, oh, this one's gonna be like this is your fast car, blah blah blah. It's all like this is straight out of Heat stuff, and I'm just like this. I just don't buy this in this context. Uh, the criminals. It's not that they're really good at being criminals; it's that the cops suck so bad at being cops.
I mean, there's something to be said for like we're just still figuring out what the FBI is and how this works.
Okay, actually, here's my
Uh,
here's my big thing about Public Enemies on Us, because it's about the 1930s / the 1920s, this whole period that I just don't really like. It has a time period, and I think
mhm.
it's because we suck at everything in this. Uh, like, it's a time frame where it's too modern to be exotic. Uh, like they have all the stuff that we have that makes it the modern era modern, but it's just crappy versions of everything. Like the music sucks. We have guitars. We got guitars and everything, but
Yeah,
rock and roll has
okay.
not been invented. Hip
Okay.
hop definitely has not been invented. So it's just a lot
Mhm.
of "Hello, my baby," "Hello, my darling," and scatting. Is anything worse than scatting? Once you have actual rapping to compare it to, and I like goes that it's
I,
everything, man. Like the cars are these big ugly boxes, and the phones are the stupid things where you have like to hold a bell on a string up to your ear, and you look like an idiot. And the women's fashions look silly. The suits are okay on the men, but the people like box with their fists held up and they're bent backwards towards their own faces, like the Notre Dame mascot. And, like the best athlete in the world was an obese alcoholic that was played by John Goodman in the biopic. You know, so this is what Public Enemies crystallized for me. is that I just don't believe that, because Michael Mann's all about people who are really, really good at their jobs. And I just don't believe that anybody was very good at anything in the 1930s. Like, it took until like after World War II, I think, before anybody's training in anything was worth a damn. Like before that, there's just a whole lot of people confidently guessing at what like might worked one time, kinda.
I mean, the Depression is also rocking the country, so there's extracurricular reasons for that as well.